first in the league in fast break points.
Clark connects on a deep three. Clark behind the back, separates.
Working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot. Logo make for Clark.
The WNBA success of Caitlin Clark started a heated basketball discussion about her potential performance in the NBA. The question stands as a bold assessment because Clark's NBA-level shooting abilities, together with her court vision and basketball intelligence, resemble some of the league's all-time great guards. So, let's break it down. Does Clark's skill set translate to the men's game? Could she carve out a role in the NBA? If there's one area where Caitlin Clark's already on an NBA level, it's her shooting. The numbers speak for themselves. She led the NCAA in three-pointers made, breaking the all-time record, and consistently shot deep threes with high efficiency. Her ability to pull up from 30-plus feet mirrors the playing styles of Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and Trae Young. But before we start our detailed analysis on Caitlin's competency in NBA, make sure to hit the subscribe button first so you never miss an update from real WNBA.
In 2024, the WNBA welcomed a revolutionary talent, a generational force poised to change the game. Even before stepping onto the court.
In her senior year at Iowa, Clark shot 39.8% from three-point range on over 11 attempts per game. A ridiculous combination of volume and accuracy. Let's put that into perspective. In the 2023-24 NBA season, Trae Young shot 37.2% from deep on 8.3 attempts per game. And even Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter to ever live, hit 40.2% from beyond the arc on 11.8 attempts per game. That means Clark, in terms of sheer three-point volume and efficiency, was operating at a level close to, if not on par with, NBA sharpshooters.
His words hit hard, putting those critics right in their place. What Barry had to say is something every Caitlin Clark doubter needs to hear.
But it's not just about percentages. It's about how she gets her shots. Clark isn't just a spot-up shooter or someone who relies on off-ball screens to get open. She's a self-creator capable of pulling up from deep off the dribble, stopping on a dime in transition, and launching logo threes that completely warp defensive coverages.
He's not your average bear. Man, look at this. He's not your average bear. This is beautiful watching it. It is, man. Are you kidding me?
This is exactly why analysts compare her to Curry and Lillard. Both players force defenses to pick them up at half court because the moment you give them space, they'll punish you.
Clear that Caitlin's talent is something to be celebrated, not torn down.
The same is true for Clark. Teams in the WNBA are already extending their defense farther than ever before, just to account for her limitless range. If she were to play in the NBA, this would remain one of her biggest strengths.
Think about his money racket the last round, so he'll be warmed up by then. He's not your average.
And let's talk about degree of difficulty. Clark isn't taking wide-open threes. Her shots are often contested, off balance, or off the dribble. Yet, she still converts at an elite clip. The same is true for Curry, Lillard, and Young, whose three-point percentages might not be the highest in the league, but whose ability to hit difficult shots make them unguardable.
I feel confident in her mid-range.
And I think Iowa is okay giving up the mid-range.
Here's Clark driving in.
So, would Clark's shooting translate to the NBA? Absolutely. She has the range, she has the accuracy, and she has the shot creation ability that makes her a legitimate deep ball threat at any level. The real question is, how would she handle NBA defenses? And that's where things get interesting.
By the end of her first season, one thing was crystal clear. A monster had arrived.
Wheeler finds Clark from the
Caitlin Clark isn't just a shooter. She's a masterful playmaker, one of the best facilitators women's college basketball has ever seen. For multiple seasons, she led the entire NCAA in assists, finishing her senior year averaging 8.6 assists per game. The combination of court vision with creativity along with defensive manipulation ability marks her performance as truly generational. Among elite floor generals the NBA has ever seen, she emulates the passing techniques of Steve Nash and Chris Paul.
Fiddly now on Nash. Nash takes him off the dribble, wrap around to Stoudemire.
Paul and Nash distinguished themselves by being exceptional passers who functioned as surgical operators on the court. They understood every defensive rotation pattern and could foresee opportunities before they materialized, while they carried precise knowledge about positioning their teammates to take the best scoring opportunities. Clark demonstrates basketball intelligence at the same high level as her peers. She monitors the court for open opportunities while delivering precise passes to receivers who remain unaware of their scoring positions. Her ability to execute the pick-and-roll plays sets her apart from other players. The NBA relies heavily on pick-and-roll maneuvers, so Clark already proved she has elite-level abilities to make the right decision when executing these plays. She delivers precise passes to teammates in every situation, including bounce passes to roll men and cross-court lasers to shooters, and defender-splitting moves and over-the-top passes to open cutters. Clark possesses all the possible passes in the NBA playbook. And she doesn't just execute these passes, she does it with flair, making some of the most ridiculous assists look effortless. That's prime Nash and CP3 territory.
The extra dribble. If he took the extra dribble, the defender might have caught him. That was a beautiful ball pickup.
And right back, Damian Lillard. He wanted a foul call.
Now, would her playmaking translate to the NBA? Absolutely, but with some adjustments. The biggest challenge would be handling NBA-level length and athleticism. In college and the WNBA, Clark can fire passes over defenders or slip them through tight windows, but in the NBA, passing lanes close instantly. She'd have to adapt to the speed and strength of NBA defenders, who recover faster and disrupt passing lanes more aggressively.
That they have had against teams over 500. They were not beaten in February by a team over 500. That's a rainbow by the Don.
Says Zoo. Take a look at this.
Elite facilitators Nash Paul and Luka Doncic demonstrate through their performances that intelligence surpasses physical attributes when it comes to playmaking abilities. Elitism in facilitation never required pure speed or explosive movements from any of these players. Ball fakes, together with hesitation moves and changes in pace and deceptive passing angles, served as their enemies' beating tactics. Clark already plays with that level of intelligence. She understands spacing, manipulates defenders with her eyes, and makes instantaneous decisions under pressure. Give her time to adjust, and she'll still be a high-level passer at any level.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark.
And let's not forget, Clark isn't just a good passer, she's an entertainer. Whether it's behind-the-back assists, no-look dimes, or half-court lobs, she has that same flash that made Nash and CP3 such captivating players to watch. If she ever stepped onto an NBA court, you can bet she'd still be dropping highlight reel assists that make defenders shake their heads in disbelief.
No one could have predicted the storm she'd unleash. From day one, she didn't just meet those expectations.
So, shooting, elite. Playmaking, next level. The biggest question mark is the ability of her defense against NBA opponents. The following part reveals additional intriguing details. The WNBA subjects Clark to persistent defensive challenges through full court pressure, double-team defense, and physical contact. But the NBA, that's another level. She'd be up against longer, faster, and stronger defenders every night.
It was about rewriting the record books entirely. Remember that 19-assist game? Turns out...
A great comparison is Trae Young. At 6'1" and 165 pounds, he thrives despite his size through elite shooting, crafty ball handling, and foul drawing ability. Clark, at 6 foot and 155 pounds, would need similar tools to survive. What Caitlin would need to improve is 3 things. 1, tightening her handle. NBA defenders punish sloppy dribbling. She'd need to keep her dribble low and precise, like Steph Curry. 2, drawing fouls. Players like Trae Young and James Harden manipulate defenders to get to the line. Clark would need to master this skill. 3, expanding her mid-range game. Defenders would run her off the three-point line, so she'd need a Chris Paul-like pull-up jumper.
Monster had arrived.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Defending opponents would present the biggest challenge to her game. The WNBA does not expect her to shut down opponents, but NBA players would discover her defensive weaknesses. The defensive weaknesses of Curry, Young, and Nash have not prevented them from achieving success in their NBA careers. Through proper adjustments, Clark could become an effective shooting guard and playmaker despite her small stature, just like her predecessor guards in the league.
Also stepped up to defend Caitlin Clark, and his words were just as impactful. Gervin didn't shy away from calling out the disrespect, making it clear that Caitlin's talent is something to be celebrated.
NBA games operate at a faster pace with higher physical intensity than WNBA games do. The NBA features athletes with greater physical abilities who execute non-stop transition offense. Clark demonstrates exceptional physical capabilities because she can maintain high workloads and dictate game tempo without appearing exhausted. One concern? Contact finishing. Clark excels at finishing through contact in WNBA games, but she would face major obstacles when defending NBA rim protectors who possess different levels of physicality. She successfully navigates through WNBA defenders, but would face 7-foot defenders such as Rudy Gobert and Jaren Jackson Jr. while playing in the NBA. She would need to use floaters and mid-range jumpers and three-point shooting to create scoring opportunities against NBA defense. The reality? Casting an NBA team requires extreme difficulty, even when considering the most talented male players coming from college. The combination of elite shooting skills and high basketball IQ and playmaking abilities provides Clark with an opportunity to secure a role on an NBA team.
Because it shows exactly why she deserves all the respect she's earned.
In a hypothetical NBA transition, Clark would excel most similarly to Trae Young in scoring, combined with Steve Nash's passing abilities and Chris Paul's on-court direction abilities. Her basketball intelligence, along with her offensive abilities, would assist her in adapting to defending players who were bigger and more athletic. The main discussion centers around Clark's ability to succeed in the NBA instead of her potential to establish a specialist role. The discussion will continue, but Caitlin Clark proves herself as one of basketball's most talented and influential athletes across all gender categories. She influences the game while reshaping public perception about women's basketball, even if she would not enter the NBA. But what do you think? Could Caitlin Clark make an impact in the NBA, or would the competition be too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the biggest debates in basketball.